event. And if you like the heirloom, you have to get heirloom shards, which is also part of the gambling because you don't know when you're going to get your heirloom shards, right? So if you want that heirloom, you have to buy the event to unlock the heirloom. So there's a paywall to actually getting what you want. It's not like, okay, you know what, the whole event is $108, but if you really just want the heirloom, 60 bucks, right? The most expensive thing. They don't give you that. You have to pay for the whole thing, or you can take your chances with loot boxes, which is, you know, gambling. And there's been plenty of lawsuits in the EU about that. Now, the reward systems as well, like you guys know with the events, if you log in every day, do these challenges, you get a free skin, you get a free pack, whatever. That is a reward system and it's time based. It's all about the way they break it down is your attention span through a day. EA, what they're trying to do is how do we get them to log in and stay on our game? And for some reason, these people that make hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, not hundreds, millions of dollars, the Apex EA CEO, let's see how much they make, right? All right, so there's a guy out there, EACO, that makes $26 million US, right? Has consistently remained the highest paid executive officer. And somehow in his mind, this guy, who is this guy, brother, Andrew Wilson, cannot comprehend making a good game for your customers will keep them coming back. That's out the window. That's not even a solution. Don't even think about that. If you think about that, you're fired. What's another way to keep our customers rather than making something that they enjoy and that they are willing and looking forward to? Like, man, I can't wait to get back on Apex. No, that's out of the question. What psychological tricks can we do to keep them playing the game? In-game purchases have gotten worse, by the way. Encourage players to spend excessive time and money. Obviously, $180 is excessive. I don't care who you are. Like for a video game to unlock an heirloom, $180 is excessive. Again, people say, well, just don't buy it. Well, there's also FOMO because if you don't buy it, it's gone. You can't go back and buy these skins. Now they release recolors, but if you don't like the recolor, and you don't know when that's going to get released. So there's a FOMO. It's both FOMO and loot boxes because you're going to have to take your chances. Once that event is over, who knows when you get heirloom shards, right? And there might be another event by the time you even get the heirloom shards, and you probably don't get the heirloom shards because it's 1 in 500 Apex packs, right? And to get 500 Apex packs, it is $500. I believe it's $1 for an Apex pack, right? So you can spend $180 and get a guaranteed heirloom, they say, or you can roll the dice, and worst case scenario, you'll spend $500 to get the heirloom shards. Clearly, that's excessive money. I don't care who you are. If you have any idea of reality, how the real world works, $500 is a lot of money to spend on a video game. And that doesn't give you anything back. I understand if you're a streamer, a successful one, I don't count obviously, but a successful one, that okay, you make your money back and it's exciting, whatever. But casual player that just like used to like playing Apex, no, this is out of the question. All right, for minors and young adults, these game mechanics can lead to a range of harmful consequences, including mental harm, social withdrawal, and physical injuries. Now, gamer rage is part of the physical injuries. You punch something, you throw something, whatever. That's probably what they're talking about. The mental harm for young kids, especially, like, we're talking about really young kids, 10, 12 years old. They're not fully in control of their emotions and all that. That could be a whole different kind of mental harm, and they're sad. Obviously, they're missing out. FOMO hits them even harder because they have no, their impulse control is lower than most adults, and I would argue even adults have poor self control. Yours truly included. Okay, developers are being accused of failing to provide adequate warnings about the risks associated with excessive gaming, such as the development of gaming addiction and its impact on mental health. Lawsuits also highlight the ethical implication of these business practices, which exploit players for profit without consideration of their well-being. Well, that's EA to a T. That's EA on FIFA as well with their card packs, right? That's gambling. You don't know what you're gonna get. I think they have some guaranteed players after so many packs, etc. But then it's still a paywall that they're using. So this is EA to a T. This is like EA's. Actually, this CEO, that's probably his motto right here. I think they should know. People should know about CEOs that push down to make those decisions. This is Andrew Wilson, EA CEO, who makes $26 million and says $500 for is a normal amount to pay. That's his company's, right? And he's in charge of that. He's the CEO. He can make changes. This is exactly to a T. Exploit players, right? Exploit players for profit without consideration of their well-being. That's EA, hands down. Like boom, that's it. A law firm is currently investigating video game addiction. I think they do have a case. It's very easy to me. Excessive gaming and video game addiction can lead to serious health issues, including anxiety. That's true. You have anxiety about missing out on the event if you really care about Apex. You also have anxiety about rank. This is something that, again, Season 0 players don't know about this, but Apex didn't used to split their seasons. And also, ranked was not a fleeting chase for Pred. There was no Masters, where it was every other ranking was about the same, bronze through diamond, and then you hit past diamond was Apex Predator. And that's it. And there were a lot of Apex Predators. Like if you grinded the game, you could hit Apex Predator. I grinded it a lot, and it was still tough in the day. And I have the Apex Predator badges, and it was fun playing with my boys then. We looked forward to it. Like it was a grind, but we're like, all right, let's do this grind. Let's get over with. Some of the games were fun, and you hit Apex Predator, and you're done. And we were done playing Apex actually, and that's what EA doesn't like. But we still went back to play Cash because Cash was very fun after they started losing players, or even before that, how to keep things fresh. And also a good idea is only that they created the masters, right? Instead of Predator, there's masters, and the top 750 players in the world, or top 750 masters players. I think it goes by NA, etc. Those are the apex predators. So that's a fleeting chase, right? That's something that continuously you have to log in every day. So you have anxiety if it really means something to you, if you're trying to be a pro player, if you're trying to get your name out there because your dream is, that's a lot of anxiety to come in because you know somebody's grinding, right? Apex Predators, like they have like I remember when it was like 100,000 points or something, like people putting in 12 hours a day. And if it really means something to you, if you have that addiction, you have to game for 10 hours a day. And if you don't, you're basically saying, I'm going to fall out of the rankings. I'm going to fall out of Predator. I'm going to fall out. I have to grind. I have to grind. I'm going to fall out of Predator. And also there's a time frame, right? And because the season splits, now your time frame is also cut in half. So you don't have a full season to do this. Now you have half a season and then you reset. So the anxiety resets. If you didn't get it the first time, you even have more anxiety to get it the second time. Depression, I mean, if you're playing Apex Legends, you're depressed. I don't think that's even like that should be somewhere. There should be a character in Apex Legends called Depression, and really that will be the highest pick character in Apex Legends. That game is depressing in general. Depressing on the changes, it's depressing on the development, it's depressing on the servers, it's depressing across the board, it's depressing on how much it costs, right, to get some skins. Say what you want about Fortnite, they have way more affordable skins, and for $20 you get more than just a skin. Pickaxe, gun skins, all this. All right, diminished social interaction. That's any game, right? If you're playing video games, you're not touching grass, right? Physical injuries. I would say the physical injuries are self-harm, etc. from raging. All right, gaming companies like EA have developed psychological tactics and manipulative reward systems to foster online gaming addiction and harmful video habits. It's getting a little bit redundant, but I think they're driving the point home. Our law firm is investigating these cases, seeking to hold the gaming industry giants accountable for harm suffered by young gamers. I would change young gamers. I don't know, like if you look at there's just I know people in their 40s and 50, well, 40s for the most part that still play video games and are still good at them. So it affects everybody, but obviously young gamers are more subject to falling for those tricks, the FOMO, the addiction, the reward system. The younger you are, your brain doesn't fully develop yet. So especially those kids 8, 12, 14, 15, 16, hell, 18-year-olds, those kids are way more prone to those psychological tricks. If there's an adult, if you're a responsible adult, you go, you know what, I cannot afford $180 event. That's crazy. You don't have to do it. And most of the time you just can't afford to do it. I don't have all the events. I do have a lot of them there, and I'm ashamed to have some of those skins. I wish I could sell those skins back to get half the money, and then I could probably do another event for Apex coins, right? Instead of like because it to me, the fact that they made it this long, because if you remember with the first when they first released um the Bloodhound skin, right? They released a skin for $180. It was the evolution skin. I forgot what it's called right now, but basically, you level it up. On Reddit, they talked about boycotting EA and stopping this because they listen to money. If you don't spend your money, they'll change it. But people bought it. I saw it day one. So I think they have a very good case. I want to know what you guys think. What's your experience playing Apex? Have you felt like you've been falling for these FOMOs? Do you feel like rank creates that anxiety? Because especially if you're going for Predator, these people have to grind 12 hours a day. Their social interaction is definitely limited. If you're playing video games for 12 hours a day on one game, you can't even go enjoy another game. If you're hitting Apex Predator, you do not get a chance to do anything else. You have to do that because there's hundreds of players, thousands probably, that are grinding for that title, trying to kick you out of the top 750. So the anxiety, the desocialization that happens with that is crazy. So I want to know in the comments what you guys think about EA. If you think that this company or this law firm has a legitimate lawsuit, I believe they do. And if you believe it's something worth pursuing, I think it's worth pursuing. And I hope they succeed to set a standard for these companies to focus on keeping their customers happy, not just squeezing the cash cow. So I am rooting for you, Hoerman Law, for butchering your name as well. I apologize. I am rooting for you guys. Please, let's make it happen.